Hello, in this Photoshop video tutorial, I will be telling you how to use the Essentials workspace. This will cover all the basics you need to get started with using Photoshop.
First, you'll open Photoshop on your computer, and then you'll want to set up a document. Once you've done that, you can check your workspace by going to the Windows tab on the top of the screen, hovering over Workspace, and then making sure the Essentials workspace is selected. After that, you're going to want to know about the features included within this workspace and where everything is located. On the left side, you can see the toolbar. You can use this to see what tools are available and select whichever tools you'd like to use. Near the top there is a bar that will show the settings for whichever tool you have selected. On the right side, you'll see panels, which by default are grouped into 3 sections which show tabs labeling each panel. Now that you know the basics of the interface, we're going to add a photo and talk more about some of the tools. You can select tools by clicking on them or by using keyboard shortcuts. You can move things around by holding and dragging with the Move tool. Then you can resize with the Free Transform tool. There are multiple selection tools within Photoshop. To make a shape-based selection, you can use a Marquee tool. To make a freehand selection, you can use a Lasso tool. Or, to select areas based on its color, you can use the Magic Wand tool. You can use the Crop tool if you'd like to cut out a portion of the canvas and select Enter to confirm it. Since I don't want to keep the canvas cropped, I'll use the keyboard shortcut to undo. You can use the eyedropper tool to pick out a color from the image. Use the eraser tool by clicking and dragging whatever area you'd like to erase. You can also use the magic eraser tool to erase based on color. The blur, sharpen, and smudge tools are pretty self-explanatory. Click and drag wherever in the image you'd like to apply the tools to. You can use the pen tool to create graphics using paths. Click to add points and drag to add curvature to the path. Then I'll go ahead and undo since I don't want that for my image. Now that you know about some of the tools, I'm going to explain more about the panels. One of the most important panels to be familiar with is the Layers panel. Chances are you will be using this panel regularly while working in Photoshop. To demonstrate, I'll add a new layer and add a gradient to it and show how it looks with different layer styles added. I'm going to use the Swatches panel to help pick out colors for the gradient, and then use the Gradient tool and click and drag where I want the gradient to be positioned. Once that's done, I'll go over to the Layers panel and select the menu that, by default, will say Normal. This will pull down a list of layer styles available to choose from. You can see that each layer style results in a different effect from one another. By using layers, you can apply styles to whichever layer you'd like while maintaining the settings of the other layers. You can also pick whichever style you like and adjust the opacity to your liking. If you decide you don't want to use a certain layer, you can delete it and you'll see the original photo we had still looks the same as it did before. Now I'm going to add text, which I'll edit with the Paragraph panel. I use the Text tool, click on the canvas, and type something in. I'm going to use the Character panel to change how the text looks. In the Character panel, you can change from a variety of fonts, sizes, and more. Since the color looks a little hard to read, I'm going to select the text and select a different color to use with the eyedropper tool. Back to the Character panel, we can change the leading and add in another line to see how it looks. We should increase it if we want the text to be easy to read. You can also use the Character panel in Photoshop to adjust the tracking or the kerning.
And that will be it for this basic tutorial on how to use the Photoshop interface. I hope this was helpful for any beginners, and thank you for watching.